farbelowmarket.com. Yeah, there you go. And you can see it right here. farbelowmarket.com. Okay? So you want to write that down. You want to get back to their website. You want to sign up with them for the free emails. I'm not saying to go out there and sign up with a bunch of $3,000 programs. I'm saying get in there and get as much free stuff as you possibly can, because there's so much stuff out there that's free. It's going to take months just to kind of soak it in and figure out what to do with it before you decide to go on and start paying money for some of this stuff. So I would pay as little as possible in the beginning. Values, property values. We're going to talk a little bit about California and investing outside of California. On Zillow, they used to have this map that made it pretty easy to get a sense of where the different foreclosures were and the different values were. Now it's kind of a list, and it's not graphical like this anymore. A little bit harder to take a look at. There's a company out there, policymap.com. They basically have what this had, only much more detail, much more information on property values all over the U.S. The only problem is it's $200 a month. So, they may have different levels that you can sign up for. Like a beginning level, I signed up for that was free, but it will only give you so much information, and if you want more, you got to pay the next step. So you might want to take a look at that just to see at what level you want to be involved to be able to get some of that information on values. A lot of places get property values, but this is one place that's got a lot of information. If you get a property, you want to list it, you can always come back to NHBIG as a member of our organization. This is my site. You can put it up there for free. There's no charge. There's a credit card thing. You just leave the credit card with the example numbers. Don't put them in there. Don't put your credit card number in there. I'll get you in there for free. You can list as many houses as you want for sale, whatever you want to do. That's, part of being in this group. REOs, yes?
What kind of traffic are you?
Well, here's the thing about traffic. There's another site out there, I can't remember off the top of my head, that supposedly has a lot of traffic. I've put properties on there along with mine and still haven't had anything sell. And so what it really gets down to is it's not the traffic, it's the price. Whatever your property is priced at is what's going to move it. And no matter what site you put your property on, you still have to go back to places like Craigslist and put ads out there. You've got to get a database of buyers, email to them. You've got to put ads out in the newspaper, whatever. There's a lot of places that you have to advertise to get the word out. It doesn't really matter what site you have it on. You're going to drive it back, the people back to the property. The site itself isn't going to sell. You've got to drive people back to it to see it. The two things that are going to sell it is you driving people back to it and the price of the home. I guarantee you, it doesn't matter if it's an increasing market, a decreasing market, no matter what the market is, if you got the property price right, which means you're willing to give it away for a lot less than most people are, you are going to sell that property. Right?
I agree.
It's going to sell. Okay? REOs, yeah, I do have my hands on a lot of different REO people, and I've got some myself. If you need, some help, I've got some options there. If you want to get involved with me at all, you go back to my website, which is nhbig.com. It will take you back to this, give you some options to go through. I also do some coaching. If you're interested in some coaching, I can do that too. Let's talk about where to get some of these properties. One of the places that Kimberly was here a little while ago, I recommended that we take a look at this Williams & Williams auction site. I still feel that this is a good site for getting good deals, cheap. Now, if they come up in Santa Maria and it's on this site, it's going to be an REO, and you're still going to have multiple offers on this property that shows up from this auction site. So it depends on the market, where it's at, and how many people are going to end up bidding on this property to get it. But one of the things that they did for me was they said, okay, you're an investor. Instead of you just going to the site and bidding against everybody else, when somebody does a bid and they get it and it's accepted, they're supposed to buy the property. If they don't buy the property, they default with us. They don't go through, they don't close, for whatever reason. And I said, well, what happens to them if they don't buy it? And they said, well, we just cancel their account and we don't let them come back here and bid anymore. I said, okay, so what happens to the property then? Well, then it sits in this little file that we're going to email to you. You're going to know what the lowest bid was, and you can come in and either give us that price or come in a little bit less, and it's yours if they accept it. Okay, so that's what I've been doing. And this last property I got, which has been a few months back now, here's their website. It was Fort Wayne, Indiana, and I purchased it. And the opening bid was $1,000. Somebody bid $3,000, told me that was the lowest bid, or that was the highest bid. And so I said, well, okay, I'll give you two. They came back in a couple of weeks and said, okay, it's yours. You got it. Now, it was a mortgage company, IndyMac, that had the property. So they probably just went, yeah, let's get this piece of junk off of our books. Kimberly went back to the same website, did the same thing I did, waited for about 3 or 4 weeks. They came back and said, no, you can have your money back. We don't want your bid after all, we found something else. Well, I think what they're doing is they're taking your bid and they're going out and shopping it around if it's a small company. She put a bid in on a property to a small investment company that wanted to take the time to go shop around and say, hey, we just got, $5,000 for this, will you give us $6,000? They did. They went back to Kimberly and said, no, forget it. Okay, so I would be careful about bidding and looking, when you're there, making an offer on a property that's with a larger mortgage company, because they're less likely to do that. They just want to get rid of the inventory and move on. Okay?
You're saying, look at the ones, what you're saying is look at the ones with the larger companies versus looking at the
Exactly. Exactly. Because I think the people that have smaller companies are going to have more time to play the game. Large companies like IndyMac or whatever probably won't do that. Okay? The nice thing about this is if you buy it, it does go through a standard title company. It does have title clear, title insurance, the whole thing, which is great. Okay? I'm getting close to your question. That's property, sold, I got it for $2,000. That's before the rehab. They're close to finishing up the rehab. They'll probably have it done, they'll probably have it done the next few weeks. If you go back to Zillow and take a look at values, here's what's happening in Fort Wayne, okay? 2005 and 6, when we had the peak, or 6 and 7, we had the peak in Santa Barbara, California, they weren't even on the charts, okay? We went down, now it's coming back up. So we're up to about $74,000 as an estimate on Zillow for this $2,000 property. Now, if I try to sell for $74,000, seriously, I would get it in a depressed market out there like that. If I'm lucky, if it's fixed up in good shape, I might get 50. But, I'll probably put in 10, total of 15,000. If I could get 50, that'd be a good little return for the money. Okay? Or just leave it as a cash flowing property with no mortgage payments. So far, there hasn't been a lot of pitfalls with this property, and I think we're going to be okay. I got a property about 5 years ago in Oklahoma, and when I bought it, everything was fine. It was a subject to. And the subject to means somebody just gave it to me. I said to them, hey, you're going in foreclosure, you need to get out of the property, you don't have any real equity there, you've been trying to sell it, you can't sell it. One thing that I can do for you is I can increase your credit every month that you're out of the property by me making your mortgage payment.